In my experience, so many time lapses never make the cut just because they're not good enough. This can be hours of valuable production time wasted. Why do we use a time lapse? Most commonly in drama and documentary, I've used this technique to illustrate a passage of time.
The dramatic title change has taken the guys by surprise, and they won't ride today.
However, when I'm doing corporate videos, they can have many uses. For example, if you're stuck for a beginning and end, a time lapse can often be an easy solution. Additionally, they can make a commercial asset, an event, or a location look much more desirable. A time lapse showing a large number of people is a really great tool for your clients who are selling sponsored events or commercial assets. Or more simply, it's just the energy and beauty that adds production value. Earlier this year, I was stuck in a high-rise apartment with that thing called COVID. One of my clients does high-end corporate real estate videos where it's all about location. We needed to capture beautiful Melbourne as the acclaimed most livable city. I took this opportunity to shoot as many time lapses as possible. Out of a full week of shooting, I kind of thought everything was looking cool, and it kind of was. However, there were only a few shots that had real commercial value. The most important thing to know is when and where the light is coming from. From this shoot experiment and what we used in the edit, in future, if it's raining or grayed out, I would not waste valuable production time. It looks magic at sunrise and sunset, and even better with those nice wispy clouds. A great technique I learned from one of my colleagues is to ramp with a gimbal into your time lapse. How to do this? Simply mark the point where you'd like to do your time lapse. Then using a gimbal, find a path to walk into the time lapse. Then when it comes to post, I find the best speed for the ramp around 8 to 10 frames. Another great trick, although it's not really a trick, is to purchase a motorized slider. These can really give you some magic shots. When it comes to equipment, it doesn't really matter too much. I'm shooting raw on a 6K mirrorless camera, a tripod, and using ND filters. Long exposure or slow shutter creates a beautiful blurring effect for time lapses that involve a lot of fast motion. However, during daylight, this will overexpose your shot and blow out any detail. So it's important to use ND filters if you're after this effect. My camera has an internal time-lapse feature and shoots 6K with great dynamic range. However, on most cameras, to get complete detail, you want to shoot high quality stills. And so what should you set your intervals at? The interval is a time that passes between two shots in a time-lapse sequence. So if I was shooting something slow building, say like clouds, I would set longer intervals, say like 5 to 10 seconds. Or if I was shooting something much faster like people and cars, to avoid having random glitches in my frame, I would set shorter intervals, somewhere between 5 to 10 frames. I record onto this cool 2TB SSD drive by SanDisk Professional. This drive is a lot more durable, I find, than the Samsung T5. Being on the road all the time, durability is important to me, and it's perfect just to plug in and get started for those quick turnaround edits. To wrap this up, you really need to develop an eye for what's going to make a good time lapse. This is probably just going to be through trial and error. Another thing, if you're not cutting your own work, then I recommend getting feedback from your editor. They might have some invaluable tips of what they're doing in their edit with your time lapse. A great time lapse used correctly in the edit should really make your videos stand out.